It's a tough act to follow the great speakers we had earlier, but I'll try. So in 3 to 5 years, about 3 to 5 years from now, you will listen to new music by Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, the Beatles, probably even Kulthum. You will also, some of you will have their hearts broken by a chatbot, an AI chatbot. That's when the AI chatbot will tell you it's time to end the relationship. This will happen. Believe me, it's already happening. Things will change dramatically, and AI will make this possible. You will replace your lawyer, your real estate agent, and your therapist with a computer. Now, there's a huge difference between smartphones and smart devices and artificial intelligence. So let's take a step back and examine what artificial intelligence is. Some people will define it this way or another way: a prediction tool, a prediction algorithm, a decision-making software. And AI is a system. In the social sciences, we call it an invention in the method of invention. What is that? The microscope, there's a lot of doctors in this room. The microscope, when it was developed, years later, I'm talking about 100 or 200 years later, we got germ theory of disease. And after the germ theory of disease was introduced, we started seeing tremendous breakthroughs and advancements in medical science and biology and everything else. All the medicine advancements and breakthroughs that we saw started with the microscope, germ theory, and then all the advancements. Without the microscope, that would have been impossible. Electricity, same thing. Imagine explaining what a TV is to a person that was born before electricity. It's impossible. They cannot even comprehend the refrigerator, TV, or anything else. They just can't. And that's what AI is. AI is an invention in the method of invention. It will create things that you can't even imagine. Everything you've heard about AI, everything you've heard, all the hype, all the media, all the marketing, toss that aside. It will create things that you can't even imagine. Now, AI, right now, like I said, it's an invention in the method of invention, and where do we stand right now? Everything I've heard since the first talk this morning about change and about leadership and great speeches about this and that, right now we are in the in-between times. The in-between times. The in-between times are transitional times between technological breakthroughs. The printing press. The printing press, when it was developed in the 1400s, years later, I'm talking 2 decades later, we got, in 1517, Martin Luther's thesis that was nailed to the gates, to the doors of the church, I believe, at the time. Without the printing press as a technology, a paradigm shift technology, Martin Luther would have never been able to spread his message and his thoughts and changed Europe, changed the world afterwards. So we have the printing press as a technology, we had electricity, discovery of electricity as a technology, we had the microscope, and now we have AI. We're going to go through the same transition very soon. It's happening already. Everything you've heard and everything you've seen will be nothing compared to what you will see soon. Will jobs disappear? Jobs will disappear. The World Economic Forum said that 85 million people will lose their jobs. Forgive me, not people, but jobs will disappear. 85 million jobs will disappear by the year 2025, so in about 2 or 3 years. However, the same report added that 97 million new jobs will be added because of AI. So we are going to lose 85 million jobs and create 97 million jobs. That is the reality. So what am I saying here? AI will not take your job. However, people who know how to build, use, and work with AI will take your jobs. That is a reality. So it's important in this context to ask 3 main questions. What we know, what will happen, and what can we do about it in a job market sense. So what we know so far, like in 2020, a drug called Halicin, an antibiotic that fights flesh-eating bacteria, was developed at MIT. MIT, of all places, developed this drug. Who were the people or the doctors who developed that antibiotic, Halicin? Nobody. It was an AI that developed it. In 2020, look it up, in 2020, MIT developed a drug called Halicin, an antibiotic that nobody had discovered before until AI discovered it. And it's a fascinating discovery in 2020. This is what we know right now. What will happen in the future? What will happen in the future, let me compare, to explain what will happen in the future, let me compare AI to a child. Now, AI is a system, a software, decision-making software system that could be taught. Will we ever allow a teenager to fly a plane? No. As a society, we collectively decided that teenagers cannot be entrusted with life-threatening or life-sensitive situations like flying a plane or doing surgery and all that stuff. And of course, there's emotion involved in all these things. However, an AI is a system that can be taught. That's what AI is. It's a system that could be taught. It could practice. It could be trained. That's what was happening. Every time you use ChatGPT will be forgotten in 5 years. Not because it's bad, no, but because of the things that will come after it. ChatGPT 4 will change your lives forever. Everything we've done so far is with ChatGPT 3. ChatGPT 4 will look at you using the camera and tell you exactly how you feel. And it will prescribe exactly what you need and give you a full medical treatment, a whole system. That's what's going to happen. Now, let me go back to the IMI real quick, the invention of method of invention. I talked about the printing press, and I talked about the microscope and how it relates to AI. Electricity. When electricity was discovered, like I mentioned, in the 1880s, it didn't get adopted until the 1920s. Those 40 years or 50 years, those are the in-between times, which we are in right now. We are in the in-between times. Why didn't they adopt electricity when it was invented? For one simple reason, that's firms and companies didn't see it as a viable or efficient system. They used to light their warehouses and their rooms and their factories with candlelight. If I'm a company owner and I want to replace all the candles with electric bulbs and wiring, I would spend so much money and all I have saved is candle wax. Doesn't make sense. The reason electricity was adopted is because these companies found a way to transform their business. So we had the production lines at Ford, for example, in Michigan. They use electricity to revamp and transform their production lines, and it changed everything. And then suddenly, there was mass scale, social, and everyday life changed by electricity. AI is going to be the same thing. When companies figure out a way to use AI to create new markets, penetrate new markets, create new products, that's how we will have AI in our everyday life. Now, what can we do about it? What we can do about it is not reject it, not fear it, not be scared of it. Remember when I talked about teenagers? AI right now is not even a teenager. AI is a child right now because it could be taught. Every time you use ChatGPT, it's using your input to learn. It's not just giving you an answer. It's using you to learn every time. ClearCypher, the company I founded, as Sarah mentioned, as she mentioned, we are training it right now to learn not just, like we know, Arabic speakers know that there's a lot of culture in our language. It's so easy to say something and have someone else read it and not understand anything because of the inside jokes and the nuances and the cultural things in it. Not just Arabic, but every language in the world. ClearCypher, we developed an AI system that understands the cultural nuances in every dialect in the world. Every dialect in Arabic. And not just that, but it could look at you. ClearCypherAI could look at you and tell you exactly how you feel. Are you angry? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you frustrated? And so on. Where we're going with this product that we're developing is going to be ready in about 2 or 3 years, is we want to use it to help with inner relationships. So if your wife is mad at you, as usual, you could ask that software, that AI system, please tell me what I did wrong by just looking at my wife. Of course, with her consent, of course. And it will tell you. And she could do the same. Why is my husband acting dumb? And that software, that AI, that ClearCypherAI will be able to tell you why a husband is in that constant state of being dumb. So, what could we do about it? My assessment is what I believe what we can do about it. My assessment consists of 2 points. First is that AI will change 3 industries. That's transportation. We see it every day. Uber and Tesla, NIO, and others are already working. They want to get rid of drivers. That's the reality. These jobs will be affected in 3 to 5 years. Some people say, so I talked to my wife about it, about the 3 to 5 years time frame. She said, no way. There's no way it's going to happen in 3 to 5 years. Maybe 10, 20 years. I guess time will tell. 3 to 5 years is my time frame. This will change everything. The Google self-driving car at DeepMind, Tesla's labs, as well as Uber and Lyft and all those, they're racing towards self-driving cars using AI. AI is not a smartphone. A smartphone is an automation machine. You have to automate it. It's just like a hammer. You have to pick up the hammer to use it. It's a tool. But with AI, no need for input from you. It will know exactly what you want, when you want it, based on the need that you need it for. 3 industries, like I said, transportation, and the second is education, and the third is medicine, healthcare. That will change. A survey was released about a year or 2 ago, and it said that every industry in America, every industry, every one of them, the adoption rate at firms and companies is much lower than employees, meaning employees at their workstations, their computers, are using AI at a higher rate than their companies or their employers, except one industry, and that's healthcare. In healthcare, insurance companies, hospitals, clinics, and other companies are using AI increasingly at a higher rate than employees, than doctors and clinicians and nurses and technicians and so on. In the healthcare industry, I will pinpoint it for you where it will start. It will start with radiology. Radiologists should be ready for what's coming because I'm in the industry as a developer and a data scientist at ClearCypher. I'm telling you, radiology is going to change. No more humans in radiology in 3 years. That's going to happen. Halocin is an antibiotic. Halocin, like I mentioned 5 minutes ago, halocin is an antibiotic. My time is up. And the second thing I will say is that instead of rejecting it, embrace it, learn it, work with it, develop it, and teach your kids how to use it because there is no fighting it. Thank you. So yeah.
Well, we cannot wait for ClearCypherAI to come up with the technology to help husbands know why their wives are mad at them.
Yeah, trust me.
So please contact me when that comes to fruition.
I will, yes.
Do we have any questions for Adam today? We have an abundance of hands up in the air.
As a radiologist, I am not looking to be replaced by AI.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
As a husband, you're looking for
That's right.
by yourself.
I think AI is going to have a tremendous role in medicine, and I see it in 3 areas that I describe as pattern medicine. Radiology is one,
yes.
Dermatology is one, and pathology is one. These are pattern recognitions. This is where AI can be a tool for the physician, the radiologist, the pathologist, and the dermatologist. We use AI when we're looking at mammograms. We use it to help identify microcalcifications and distinguish them from benign and malignant. We use it in CT of the chest to identify malignant nodules. Mm-hmm. And so as it evolves and it gets better, we will become better at what we do.
Correct.
So we will be working together.
Correct.
Yeah. Thank you.
Perfectly said, and it's not going to just change the radiology as a field of expertise, but it will also teach how radiology is taught. So radiologists, just like at the checkout lane at a grocery store, computers are doing the work, but there's a human observing, and that's radiologists, I believe. You will not lose your job, it will only change the job. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. Sorry, yes, go ahead, sorry. I don't know. Oh, I think she's next.
Thank you very much, Adam. And I would like to backtrack a little bit to the first speaker today, Emir, who briefly referred to artificial intelligence as part or as one of the components of change that we have to embrace or that we cannot embrace, can or cannot embrace. And of course, artificial intelligence, I'm all for change, of course, but when it comes to artificial intelligence, I would be a little bit skeptical about what kind of change we're talking about here. There is a question about artificial intelligence and ethics, vis-a-vis ethics, because I see that most of the speakers who referred to artificial intelligence were basically talking about the materialistic aspect of artificial intelligence. And I do know that there is a lot of advantages that we are going to be getting, particularly in the 3 areas that you've mentioned, and especially in the health services provided. And, but when it comes to artificial intelligence and ethics, I mean the absence of human interaction, the absence of empathy, the absence of my privacy, the absence of perhaps human judgment. So I don't know if the people who are feeding those machines and doing the software, which is going to be creating artificial intelligence, are going to be taking these elements into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. The law is always slower than the crime, always. A law is not created until a crime is committed. And that's why law is always reactive, while ethically questionable things are usually faster. It's not my job to decide the ethics. That's going to be politicians. There's going to be a huge, because if you could create a Taylor Swift album anytime you pick, based on your mood, I'm serious, then that means there's going to be a lot of copyright issues. Who's going to deal with that? If you could create a Beatles album every month just because you feel like it, is that ethical? I guess, but is it ethical towards the copyright owners? I guess not. So all these questions are going to be the job of politicians. It's a great thing, and I'm for development will not stop because of ethics. It just will not. It will continue at a faster rate. Technology is the weapon. America is superior military. As a former service member and veteran myself, I'm telling you, America's power is from its technology. It's not because of anything else. Sorry to say that. I know it's filmed, but soldiers-wise, we're not the toughest country. We're not. It's our technology that makes us the most powerful country. I'm sure there's a lot of hands. I don't know if
I've got the mic,
yes, go ahead.
so
yes.
I speak.
You win.
So I'm just wondering, you're saying in your technology, you're recognizing accents, you're recognizing moods. Yes. I'm just wondering, is that going towards synths that are going to be out there mimicking us, responding on our behalf? And is that technology that you handle?
Yes.
Because I'm investing in one entity and want to know, where is that at in your mind? Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. You should look up video clips and audio clips that we've created as well of Biden talking to Trump about playing a video game. If you listen to it, you will never be able to tell the difference. So yes, it's going to happen. Can it mimic you? 100%. Using 10 seconds of your voice, it will be able to do it. So next comes the ethical question of identity. If we make a video clip or an audio clip of Putin saying something questionable, then you see we will have a huge responsibility, ethical. So all these questions arise. If a Tesla AI, a car, hits a passerby, who's responsible? Is it Tesla, or is it the developer of the AI, or someone else? All these questions are not the creator's job. It's someone else's job, unfortunately.
Maybe just to add one thing, I heard you mention about the law being slower than the crime.
Correct.
And really who is really protected, who are the stakeholders that are protected in tech policy. And I heard several people, from speakers today, actually quoting the World Economic Forum. So part of the work that we do at WEF at the council level, Global Future Council, is on agile governance and the future of technology policy. The future really of regulating technology is not going to be for legislators. we're going to see a broader spectrum of stakeholders being involved in agile governance techniques, meaning trying to not regulate technology right now necessarily, but trying to set the groundwork for emerging technologies. So think about it, not what to think, but how to think, right? Because it doesn't matter how fast you go as a human being, technology is going to evolve faster than you do, right? So I looked you up quickly. I saw that you've been involved maybe in policy work, but have you been actually seeing some developments at the AI level with those agile governance techniques and the regulation of technology beyond pure legislation?
No, not yet. And it's a good point you mentioned that WEF is the only one, because it's the only one that's been producing these reports. So with the agile technologies in the legislatures, no, I haven't seen any, honestly.
Yeah, and the reason why we've been producing those reports, so the latest, we bring people from different parts of the world, and people not really, I loved also earlier, I think Sarah or somebody was speaking about gatekeepers and change, right? It's really bringing experts in the fields that are not afraid of speaking up and putting data on the table. Right, and you'll be surprised how many different perspectives actually differ on that table, and it's amazing how you end up actually all thinking that you're different and thinking differently, but end up with something similar, and that really ties into the ethics question that was the follow-up. And sorry everyone for the second question that I had, is how can we actually define ethics in AI? Because the ethics is different than values, and just that's my real thought for you there too. Thanks.
We can't. I'll just leave you with this. Henry Kissinger, although questionable past and everything, Henry Kissinger said, when a system of information is imposed on people, people usually react in one of two ways: either convert it into a religion, or the second option is they fight it. They go to war with it. So the Middle East, I believe the Middle East, and I'm taking your time, I know, in the Middle East, unfortunately, I think a lot of governments will fight AI, and they will create laws to ban it and vilify it and everything, because it's not going to be a religion, so the other option is to ban it. And that's unfortunate, because it could help upskill so many people and increase equality and create jobs. But
we'll just take one more question from the audience, and please bear in mind we have other AI speakers today, so there will be overlap with the questions that you have, I'm sure.
Well, mine will not qualify as a question. I just want to make sure I clarify myself, because I'm the one who said embrace change, and I think it's a very good point that was raised. Look, I didn't mean embrace change meaning blindly embrace it and go with it and let it lead you. I said embrace change because it's going to happen. AI is not going anywhere. And I think if you look back in time, most of the times that we have to go back and fix something after the fact is because we denied it. And as much as AI, I think, is going to be a big challenge, potentially, ethically or not, but unfortunately, today we are dealing with a lot of situations of inequality and discrimination, a lot of things way before AI was invented that were created by humans. So I think if we are proactive, embrace it and make sure that we're educated about it and we lead it to the right place, I think we're better off than just ignoring it and let it then run out rogue, and then we try to fix it after the fact. That's the point I was making.
I would like to thank Adam Taha for this wonderful discussion.
Thank you.
You got everyone so involved. Thank you for your talk. We appreciate it.